want to use Pineco today in Little Cup. Pineco has rapid spin, so you might think that it would be a decent rapid spinner in Little Cup, but it really has a few problems going for it. First of all, it's a bug type, so it's going to take 25% from Stealth Rock, which means it really doesn't want to be a rapid spinner, as opposed to Fortress that has the steel type to offset. Now you could run a heavy duty boots on Pineco, still keep you sturdy and avoid Stealth Rock, but then you're losing your Eviolite, and that makes it a lot less bulky. So Pineco doesn't really have a lot of options, I feel. So we're going to try to run a more offensive Pineco with the rapid spin for just a little bit of speed and utility, then payback for things like Ghastly and Drifloon, and then Bulldoze for things like Magnemite, and then finally we can explode if we want to. And apparently the Little Cup tier is finally testing Giraffe Rig, which is fantastic. I'm going to lead off with Tinkatink. I just want to get a Thunder Wave off on something. We have to go into Toad School, which is fine. I'm going to go into Deerling on this. Deerling will resist Earth Power, it can't be spored. And I can, well, what do we want to do here? I can just Headbutt, or I can Thunder Wave. I think I'll Thunder Wave, as I actually do get to Thunder Wave the Ghastly. Now I'll Zen Headbutt here. That'll be super effective on the Ghastly, and we can get a flinch in case this doesn't kill. Now, of course, if they stayed in, the Thunder Wave wouldn't have done anything, but Knockoff, it didn't do too much. I have Synthesis, Earth Power, Giga Drain, Spore. That's not going to touch me, so they had to switch, and nothing else on their team wanted to get Thunder Waved. So we have double Thunder Wave on this team with the Deerling and the Tinkatink, and that should help us get some speed advantage, so that maybe Pineco can do a thing or two. So we do get the Paraflinch chance, which is fantastic. We go Pawnyard, that's okay. Looking at this, I think I want to keep... I'm not sure, I'm going to Thunder Wave here. Getting that paralyzed is always good, in my opinion. And then I can go into my... I could go into Drifloon, but I don't think that's a good play. I'll just go into Mudbray here. They may want a Brick Break, which will give me a defense boost. The Iron Head, good play on their part. So now I have a defense boost. I'm just going to click the Rock Slide, as I don't expect them to stay in. And they do go into Ghastly, that's a good play on their part. And so 18 speed divided by 2 should be 9. I should outspeed them still, unless they are Choice Scarf, and they'll die there. So this is a standard Rest, Sleep, Talk, Mudbray, but instead of having the heavy slam, I'm using Rock Slide specifically for Ghastly, Drifloon, and stuff like that. Alright, gonna click Synthesis here, just so we can get some health back. Toad School is not an issue for Deerling. Of course, Deerling can't block like a rapid spin or anything like that, but we're not concerning ourselves with that on this particular team. Right, we don't have a Glimmet or anything like that. So you can stay in, do whatever you want, I don't care. And now we'll just start clicking Headbutt. We go Giraffe Rig. I'm gonna Thunder Wave the Giraffe Rig as well. Of course, losing a lot of HP on my Deerling isn't fun, but losing to Giraffe Rig is also not fun. So they take 50% on their main key. I'm gonna go into... Then I'm gonna go Pineco on you. I don't really need Pineco. It is sort of a meme pick. It's not here to be particularly good. And so, Minky could have clicked Close Combat. They could also, of course, click U-Turn. I'll just throw Pineco out, see what my opponent wants to do. They decide to let me get a Rapid Spin off if I so desire. Do I so desire? Let's actually see how much Pineco's Explosion will do to Toad School. Explosion is 80 to 95% to a bulky Toad School, which, for all I know, this is. Okay. Do I care about Stealth Rock? Not really. I think I'm just going to explode. And they actually do die. I got a crit that may have mattered. Alright, that's fine by me. I'm going to go into Mudbray now. If they go into Giraffe Rig, that's fine, but I expected them to go into Mankey. And at this point, you have to decide how you're going to switch into Earthquake. It's not going to be a good thing to do. Okay, so they lose their choice Scarfer, which is fantastic. And I can actually get a rest off here, as they are faster than me. I guess I can't get a rest off, that's okay. At this point, I'm gonna go Shellos. I have Earth Power in the Shellos. I don't really know if that's the best move to have, but if you look in this instance, it's really not good for my opponent because I'll waste the recovers. Poniard is gonna have to switch in on this, and I will outspeed you. So the Poniard goes down, and then you have Drafrig paralyzed. Okay. So let's see what my opponent wants to do here. I can stall them out, I think, here, because they don't appear to have toxic themselves. They just toxic spikes, and that doesn't really affect me too much. Like, what is their end game here? I've got the Shellos here, which is going to just eat just about any hit I want. They want to go for. And I can always go into Drifloon as well. So I'm actually going to go into Tinkatink here, because I can get a knockoff going. That will mean the Marini's much lower HP, or much lower defense rather. And if they go into Drafrig, well, that's fine by me. So the Drafrig is now going to be Eviolite-less. It's the physical attacker set. And we got Tinkatink here. Get rid of their Eviolite, they will have no item, and so in theory knockoff would do less, but they also have less bulk. And so yeah, 43%. Yeah, so we can just click knockoff again. So that's the benefit of going for the Thunder Wave earlier in the game. And now once again I can just click knockoff, and I can even click Thunder Wave if I want. Just to be rude, I guess, I don't know. Now we can click play rough, that'll do. Not too much, because it is at the end of the day still a Marini, but I'm not particularly concerned about that. And now I can go into dealing and hopefully get a couple of flinches. The flinches will make this game faster in the end. Alright, good. So the Pineco in this game was able to get a explosion off on the Toadschool. That's not really that big of a deal, but the Toadschool was a little bit annoying, especially for Tinkatink, and if it had a rapid spin boost, it would have been more difficult for the Drifloon. So getting rid of that is fine. I'm not expecting Pineco to do too much. I'm also sort of exploring some other Pokemon I haven't used so far, like Deerling and Tinkatink. They are pretty common in Little Cup. I just personally haven't used them yet. I wanted to see how they would do in this video. And so far, I've been pretty pleased with them. Alright, and now we're back with another game that my opponent looks like they brought a lot of really good Pokemon. So this should be a pretty scary game, but we'll see how far we can go. So for the Quaxley, we have Shellos to some extent, but we do not have Storm Drain. However, they don't necessarily know that, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Tinkatink as a lead is a little bit less good just because they have their own Mudbray, and so I can't really do the things I want to do with that. In fact, the Mudbray is sort of annoying, so I actually need to use the Shellos for that specifically, because I have nothing but physical attackers otherwise. Drifloon can burn the Mudbray, but if it's a rest talk one, that's not really going to get me much. Alright, but leading off with Mankey is a good call, I think, for my opponent. So I think I want to lead off with the Mudbray, in case they do lead off with Mankey, as they do. And I'm just going to click the Rock Slide. I don't expect you to stay in. Do close combat, you're going to take way too much damage. I think going into something like Ghastly on Mudbray makes a lot of sense. They could always stay in, I suppose. Or they could go into their own Mudbray. Their own Mudbray actually would make a lot of sense as well. If they do that, I'll just go into my Shellos. But I don't want to go into Shellos hard on the Mankey. Or Ghastly, what do we have on this team? They can't freely Shadow Ball because of Deerling, but and then they can't freely Sludge Bomb because of Tinkatink. They can always the Will-O-Wisp, which is an issue, because I'm not going to go Shellos on Ghastly. So this team is actually pretty weak to Ghastly, I should say. Alright. Yeah, so the rock slide is definitely a problem if they decide to go into Mudbray, just because we'll give it a free defense boost for no good reason. Let's actually start looking at this. So I got my Shallow Seer against Mudbray. Just say it's the normal Restock set. Then they're gonna do half to me with Earthquake. That's pretty bad, and I only do half to them with Surf. Okay, yeah, there's that, and they go to Giraffe Rig, as I missed the rock slide. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we can go to Tink Tink on this. It could be physical, but I don't think you would go into that. Yeah. So I'm going to Thunder Wave you here, as they do sensibly go into Mudbray. I think that's a good play on their part. Alright, I'm going to go into Pineco, and then I'm going to click Payback, in case they decide to go to Ghastly. Okay, that is what Payback is on here for, because they may be expecting me to try to get a Rapid Spin off. And so spin blocking would be Ghastly's main job. And I am sturdy, so nothing they do this turn will kill me. And most Mudbray are not running Rock Slide, but this is a Stealth Rock one, so I don't know about that. Oh, Payback is also good for Giraffe Rig. I didn't get attacked this turn, so that didn't do as much. I'm gonna Rapid Spin here, just to get these Stealth Rock off the field. Now I can go back into Tink Tink. I think that'll be okay, because we won't take too much, and this time I'll click Knock Off. That way we can make some progress against the Mudbray. Now I'll go into Shallow Seer. Well, actually, maybe I'll go back into Pineco, as they go for Earthquake this time. Oh wow, okay. And this time I'll go for Explosion. Cool. Okay, so now I can go into Shallows. And they didn't get Stealth Rock up, so now I'll just click Surf. They should switch out, I think, into Quaxley. However, they don't know if I'm Storm Drain, in which case Quaxley has to Brave Bird in order to make progress. They go Ghastly instead, which is fine. We have Tink Tink for that, as they go for Shadow Ball. And at this point, I can click Stealth Rock, I think. Or I can click Knock Off. I think I will go with Knock Off, as they do get, if that was a roll, it could have been a roll, but they do get the same roll twice. That's fine. Okay, so problem is my team is pretty slow. I'll go Deerling, just see if I can win the speed tie. You can definitely go into Poniard on Deerling. It's pretty hard to win the game, win the war of Deerling versus Poniard, I think, in a 1v1 scenario. Check my Drifloon. Yeah, this is a really bulky Drifloon with no speed whatsoever. Oh, good. So we did win the speed tie against Ghastly, so that sort of makes up for that. Let's go into Mudbray here, and I get the defense boost. As they go for Night Slash, that's fine by me. I will go for Earthquake here. They can transform into a flying type if they want to. But I have shown Rock Slide, so they may not want to, because if they don't do too much damage to me, I can rest up on you. I can go for Rock Slide if I see you're trying to get a Swords Dance boost. And I don't really think that would be as favorable. So yeah, they just go Quaxley, that's okay. Now, in theory, I could go into my Shallow Seer. I wonder if I should, though. I feel like I need Shallows. I also feel like I need Mudbray, to be honest. We have knocked off the Mudbray. What do I do here? This is a tough turn. So if they Roost and I Earthquake, then I keep them at a pretty low health. If they Brave Bird and they die, that's fantastic. But then I will be weaker against the Poniard and the Mankey, so I can't afford to do that. I sort of need the Shallows for the Mudbray, but maybe less so now that they are knocked off and they do Roost, as I figured they would. Just going to Earth Power here, I am not defenseless against you. I do have a way to hit you, whereas you don't really have a way to hit me other than Brave Bird. And if you Terastallize into a flying type, which you could do, then I will be able to Ice Beam you. And that does nothing. So that's fine. Okay. And I will go for Earth Power again. Is the probably just going to roost? Yep. The Brave Bird again. You'll probably recover, and I will too. They're probably just trying to scout out, see what I'm going to do. The Rapid Spin. I've gotten the Spit F drop, and so now I think they sort of forced to switch. I'm going to Surf here, just to show that I'm not afraid to use this advantage. Now they have to think about who they want to go into. Mankey is a full health. Giraffurig's pretty low. I think Giraffurrig is probably the one you should go into. Okay. I think I'm going to go into Drifloon here. I need to keep that around. And I'll get my berry here. And you'll die. Yes, that's the way to do it. So now I am Acrobatics boosted. See, the thing is, if I had let them kill me, if they had gone down, that would have been okay, I guess. But not great. I'm going to just Will-O-Wisp you. As I miss. Fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean that was really awful. Okay, I'll just Earthquake here. If they decide to go into their own Mudbray, that'll be okay. Because I can get a rest off. What do we do here? Should I rest on you? Yeah, I think I am going to do that. There we go. Now we can sleep talk. Because if they won the speed tie and then I didn't rest, then they would be dead. But my physical wall would have been dead on the following turn. So now they're going to be doing nothing but boosting my defense. I should be able to wake up this turn. So even if I'm forced to switch by the Giraffurrig, that'll be okay. As that's probably who's coming out. Is the Giraffurrig. I really am going to be glad when Giraffurrig is gone from the tier. I know I was excited to see Giraffurrig finally be able to do something, because Giraffurrig for so long wasn't able to do anything, but really it's not healthy for the tier. It's way too stifling. Can do too many different things. What am I doing? Mudbray versus Giraffurrig. That's the plot set. Yeah, Twin Beam does 32 to 48% apparently. So they could get the roll here. But I think I'll just go for it. Okay. That's fine, I think. Now I'm at a lot of defense boosts. Does Mankey even kill me, I wonder? Probably does, with close combat. Plus 5 boosts. Close combat to 16%. That has to be expected. Nothing you can do about that unless I turn into a ghost. Okay. Let's look at Shellos now versus Mankey. Shellos. That does 50%, so I'm forced to go to Deerling. And Terastallize into a ghost type. So let's do that. And now I will Thunder Wave, because they're obviously going to go Pawniard here. I'll go into Shellos as they go hard for the Night Slash. So they get me on that one. If I'd have stayed in and gone for a headbutt, I could have flinched them down. But the problem is if they have a Sucker Punch, then what are you supposed to do, right? So this is what Deerling does. It goes for the flinches. And it is in its favor to always get these flinches, because Headbutt has 100% accuracy. Okay, what can you hit me with? Night Slash, good. I can't believe I won that one. Oh, man. That was a hard game. Okay, good. So I think that my opponent must just not have had Sucker Punch, right? Pawniard, it's hard, right? Knock off Sucker Punch, Stealth Rocker, Sword Stance, Thunder Wave. You know, there's so many moves you could get. Of course, now you don't get knockoff, And so really recently, you haven't seen a lot of Pawnyards with an offensive dark move. Because before, knockoff being the most important move in Little Cup, and in Pokemon generally speaking, knockoff is such a valuable move that you would always want it. But Night Slash has no value inherent to Pokemon other than, it's my basic stab option. You can't even run Throat Chop, which is slightly stronger, except for on crits. So you haven't seen that many Pawnyards in the current metagame that have Night Slash. Now, if I give up, or if I have Night Slash, which is nice to have, because then you don't have to worry about your opponent going for a move in order to get Dark Stab, then what are you going to give up? You're going to give up Stealth Rock or Sword Stance? You're going to give up Brick Break? You're going to give up Iron Head? I don't think you should ever give up Iron Head. So then you're going to have to give up maybe Sucker Punch. If you give up Sucker Punch, though, in this case, you can see that really hurt my opponent. I'm almost 100% positive they didn't have Sucker Punch, because at least one of these times they would have gone for it as they were getting flinched down. So I'm really surprised that I was able to pull that out. But I do think that if they'd gone for Sucker Punch, that going into Shellos would have hopefully worked out, because they were paralyzed, right? Okay. Now this is an interesting game. I do have 2 ways to remove hazards, so I'm not too concerned about that, but we'll have to see what the Diglett does. I don't want to lead Tinkatink, because Tinkatink can get doubly trapped in this game, and although the Magnemite can't really do too much, I can't really do too much back. So I don't think Tinkatink wins that exchange. Alright. Let's lead off with Pineco, I think. We'll lead off with Nimble. And I'm going to... I gotta just explode on something. Just about anything exploding would be good in the end, right? Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just see what happens. They could, I guess, go into Magnemite, and that would be sad. Going into Quaxley, though, to get it that low, that's fantastic for me, I think. Okay. So now, Quaxley, I have to sort of go into Deerling. Let's go for Zen Headbutt. If they decide to go into their Glimmet, as they do, then this will be brought down to its Focus Sash. And I'll just go for normal Headbutt so I don't miss. So they don't get any value out of their Glimmet other than the Toxic Spikes, which are up. And so now... Now what do we do? We go into Mudbray. Mudbray takes a whole lot of damage. So now I have a defense boost. I will rest, but it doesn't matter. I die. Okay. But they have Terastallized, which is fine. So at this point, I'm going to go into... I need to change my Shellos' Terra type to ground, is what I need to do. Okay. This is a bit of an issue, isn't it? Okay, let's go Tinkatink after all on this. And I'll just click Knock Off. Unfortunately, if they go into Diglett and I'm trapped, I can Terastallize into a grass type and then they won't be able to kill me. But if I do that, my Drifloon will be a lot weaker as a result. I sort of have to do that, I think. Because I don't want to lose everything. Okay, yeah, they go Nimble now. Which means that I don't have this as an answer. Just Thunderwave here as they kill me. Go Drifloon now. And I'm gonna click Defog. Okay. Now I'm gonna go into Deerling on Mew. We'll click Thunderwave, and if I live, that'll be good. This is about the only thing Deerling can do left. Let's get this dead. So now I can start spamming Headbutts. They go into Magnemite on, which is smart on their part. But I do think the game is basically over at this point. They can just spam an electric move. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. Let's just quickly see what I can do against Magnemite. Choice Scarf does not kill. I will go into Shellos then. Just click Earth Power. It's crazy how little that does to Shellos. Okay. And now, fortunately, the Giraffe Rig is paralyzed, so I might be able to make something happen here. Recover up. Definitely, I die here. The Giraffe Rig. Now I can go for the Acrobatics. And I can go for Acrobatics again. To get paralyzed again. It's interesting because... Okay, there we go. Now my Acrobatics is powered up. Okay, Acrobatics. Does that kill Quaxley? Yeah, it does. So it comes down to Nimble. Who will win? This is a 2 times resist. Ah, Sucker Punch. Yeah, good call. Good call. So we brought it down to the last turn. So well played on my opponent's part. I should have a Will-O-Wisp maybe. Let's actually quickly check that out because I don't want to lose that exchange again if I can help it. Nimble. And it is Terrabug. So first impression does 38 to 50%. And I had 61%. And I suppose one thing I could have done was go for Destiny Bond. So obviously Acrobatics killed. There was no question in my mind that Acrobatics was going to kill. Nimble has no HP. But so Sucker Punch killed me obviously from the amount of health I was at. And if I had gone for Destiny Bond, then Sucker Punch would have failed. And then I could have gotten off a save hit in the following turn. If they'd gone for First Impression, they would not have killed me. I would have gone for Destiny Bond and then they couldn't... Yeah, okay. So all I had to do there was click Destiny Bond. And that's what I should have done. So that's my fault. I will hopefully remember that in the future. Alright. Okay, good. Got another game real fast. Pineco as a lead isn't bad. What else do we got here? Let's lead off with Drifloon, I think. As they lead off with Surskit. They can Icy Wind me, but that will get my Unburden activated. So at this point, they can go Glimmet. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp you first. Maybe I should have defogged first. Lol. Okay. Now I will go into the Pineco. I got a Rapid Spin, right? I gotta get this off the field. Okay. And then I can click the Bulldoze. Yeah, there we go, there we go. You're thinking, hey, they're sturdy, gotta get them off the field. Okay, we got a Toxic Spike up. That is unfortunate, and I can't do anything about that. But I'll take it. Okay. Shellos, I think, can come out now. Shellos versus the Toadstool. Should live. The Giga Drain or whatever. There's Giga Drain on this set? What the heck? Giga Drain does half. And Ice Beam actually doesn't kill. What the heck? I'm a bit surprised at that. Okay. I'll just go into Deerling then. And we'll click the Headbutt. Click Headbutt first until they realize that they're not going to win this exchange. And then I'll click the Thunder Wave. Or not. Okay. Synthesis it up. So the Thunder Wave is a little... Or the Poison is a little bit annoying. But I do have a way to heal. So it's not that big of a deal. I think. They decide to Rapid Spin. Again. I don't know what that gets to. Okay. Headbutt again. Good. So we got rid of the Toadstool. They can obviously go into their Tink Tink now. Or not the Tink Tink. They can go into the Nimble. And I have my Tink Tink for it. So they actually go into the Giraffe Rig. I will click... I'll go Tink Tink on you. Okay, yeah. They go for Terra Blast. Wisely, they don't decide to stay in and get paralyzed. They go for ground Terra Blast. Ooh, they're a ground one. That's cool. Girafarig with ground. I like that. Although that does sort of go to show how crazy Girafarig is. There's 1,000 things it can do to kill you. Okay, and if I terrestrialize, there's a chance, a 6% chance to kill from full with 0 SPDEF and 0 HP. So that's not good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do. So I think I might have just lost this one too. I'll have to go for the roll. I think is the only way I can get this back. I will go into my Mudbray here, just in case. If they go for Volt Switch, yeah. It's fine. Go for Rock Slide. They go into Nimble, and the Nimble dies. I'll take that. And what they don't know is I actually sort of need to get this damage off. Sack the Deerling now, just so they can't, if they're locked in for whatever reason. Oh, don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Okay, so they are Choice Scarf. That's good to know. Fantastic. So now I can surf, and that'll kill the Girafarig, or it'll kill this. So now they have to decide if they want to go for the Air Slash or the Hurricane or whatever they have. Okay, they do have Air Slash, and they get the flinch. Man. Okay. So we get an unfortunate luck by my opponent there. If they hadn't flinched me, I would have won the game. Alright. And now we're facing another team that's pretty scary. In the past, I've killed these Meowths turn 1 with Diglett, but I don't have that particular option at the moment. I think I don't need to worry about his Pineco rapid spinning, because I don't really see any hazards on my opponent's part. Unless I'm missing something. Maybe this guy is something, I don't know, like Toxic Spikes. But for the most part, I don't see any hazards. So Pineco is going to be more of an offensive player in this game. Let's lead off with the Inkatink, I think. Yeah, because they're going to lead off with the Meowth. They're going to get off a free fake out. Actually knock off their Fuecoco. So that works out better than I could have imagined. I go to Shallow Seer as they burn me, which I don't care about at all. And now I'm going to go for Ice Beam? Yeah, Ice Beam on the Toad's cool. And then I will go into my Deerling because I can't be put to sleep and I don't care about any of their other moves. Then I will go for Zen Headbutt in case they decide to go into their Ghastly. As they go into Fuecoco. So they should know what my initial switch is, but they may feel pressured to heal up. I'm not sure. Alright. At this point, Ghastly versus Shellos. Ghastly. Let's see your Life Orb. I'm not sure what this particular set is going to be. Yeah, they don't do too much to me. And I do a decent chunk to them with a Surf. I'm actually sort of curious. I think I can make this work. And that's the Life Orb set, yeah. Oh, Energy Ball. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I think I can just go back to Deerling now. Because I think that's Choice Scarfed. Now we'll go into my Tink now. As they go for U-turn, which is fine by me. They are Life Orb. I like how my opponent's not wasting time with the fake out though. I think that's smart on their part. We can go into Shallow Seer, and I will get a Recover off. So we've scouted. I'm pretty sure this is Choice Scarf Ghastly. Energy Ball is a cool tech. I feel like Thunderbolt is generally more useful, but maybe it's there for a particular reason like Mudbray. I guess that would make some sense. Because Mudbray... I mean, Mudbray doesn't like Shadow Ball, and it can't really hurt Ghastly if it's... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they're running Energy Ball. Maybe there's some reason. Okay, so Toadstool comes out. I mean, it's a decently smart play. It's pretty safe. But what are you going to get out of it? You can double, I suppose. Strudel! I'll just go into Tink on you. It's probably Parting Shot. The Swagger. Okay. So, with the Mirror Herb now, what does the Strudel get? I actually don't know what Strudel gets. Gets knockoff, gets gun shot, but that doesn't really do too much here. I don't know what your plan is. Oh wow, Terra Blast ground. Okay. 18 speed is a bit of an issue. I can go into my Mudbray. Or actually, you know what? I can go into Pineco. Save me, Pineco. And I'll just explode on you. Yeah. Good. We click the nuke button. Pineco saves us. I will take it. So I lost my Tinkatink, which was important. But they lost their Terra, which is also important. I'm going to go Deerling here. And the reason is I don't want them to go Toadstool. And if they go Ghastly, I think I can just go into my Shellos just fine. Yeah. Go for Sludge Bomb and I can just recover up on that. And if they go into their Toadstool, that's not an issue. Meowth is an issue, I will say. This is not an issue. We do have Deerling. In the future video, I may explore some option to try to get Toadstool to be able to beat Deerling. Deerling isn't the most common pick, but I really do think one of the things that makes Deerling so compelling in the tier right now is the fact that it can bust through. I should be clicking Thunderwave on this, is what I should be doing. I think I'm actually gonna click Thunderwave now. Yeah, like that. Okay, I'm gonna go Mudbray here, just so I can get the defense boost. I'm gonna click Rock Slide, in case they go into their Ghastly. If they go into their Toadstool again, we don't really care. If they go Fuecoco, well, that's fine. But they do go Ghastly, and the Ghastly goes down. So now they've lost their choice Scarfer. They've gone per Brawler here, which is interesting. I do have a defense boost. I don't want to Terra Water, I don't think. Yeah, this is a bit annoying. Let's go into my... Okay, I need... What do I need? I need to keep Deerling for the Toadstool. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay and let this do its thing. Actually, if it's Substitute, that's a bit of an issue. Oh wow. Okay, so now it's 7. So it's an Oranberry one, which is why it was so frail. Oh yeah, okay, so I looked like it did no damage in the beginning, but it was doing 50% and then it ate the Oranberry. I missed that for some reason. So I'm glad I stayed in. At this point, 18 speed outspeed 17 speed. Let's see how much we do. Deerling. For Brawler. This is not Eviolite. It's got no item at the moment. And it is +2 defense. A Headbutt would do 19 to 28%. But Zen Headbutt does 28% minimum. So provided we land... I could always Terra Ghost if I wanted to, but I'd rather save that as a surprise for Meowth. Okay, good. So now that Meowth doesn't know that I'm a Ghost type, we should be able to kill that as well. A little bit sad. Or actually, do I? I'm gonna go into Drifloon here. I want to save the typing on Deerling for the Toadstool. Okay, Fuecoco comes out. And they're probably just going to burn me, or try to at least. Oh, Fire Spin, that works too. At this point, Surf is pretty free. And I don't think this is going to work out for Fuecoco. And I'll just Surf again. I don't really need Shellos. That was actually a speed tie. Okay. So I will Ice Beam here, as I don't expect them to be Giga Draining on my Deerling or my guy. They go Meowth, actually. That's pretty funny. Okay, as I outplay my opponent on this last couple turns. So this is a good game to end it off on, I think. Get a nice clean win here in the end, where I was in pretty in control for most of the game. And the only point at which it ever got out of hand was where it was a tear ground strudel, and we were able to hit the eject button immediately with our explosion on the Pineco. So I'm really glad that Pineco was able to play a key role in our final win of the video. One of the losses we got today definitely shouldn't have happened. I should have just clicked Destiny Bond, and then I would have won the game against the Nimble. That's just my lack of experience against the Nimble matchup. I haven't really used Drifloon so far, but I think I will be using it in the future. I'm not sure about this specific EV spread, but it does seem to be doing okay, so I guess I'll take it. And I definitely love Destiny Bond as a move, so I want to use more of this Drifloon in the future. And then the Deerling, I really like this Deerling. And Pineco wasn't bad. Pineco, of course, like we said, is not a very good Pokemon. As a rapid spinner, doesn't want to do anything. Payback never really came into play too much, unfortunately, and I never got to click Bulldoze. Or maybe I did, but it just, I don't remember. But Explosion is definitely nice with the Sturdy, so I'll definitely take that. But yeah, pretty fun video. I think we did okay in today's video, and we got to beat up a couple guys that were on the that were trying to get their Rex for the draft rig suspect. Hopefully they were trying to ban it, because I think everybody should vote to ban draft rig. Now, will I go for Rex? Nah, I don't like laddering that much to play 20, 30 games and have to win them all. That's just not my style, so I probably won't do that. But I expect the draft rig will get banned. Anyway, that was a pretty good video. I'll call it for today, and I'll catch you guys next time.